What's going on, everyone? So Christian Koloko has kind of been thrusted into the rotation due to just Christian Wood, Jackson Hayes, right? I mean, even Rui Hachimura for like a small ball version, right? Lakers are really lacking their size. I mean, even in that Pelicans game, it was pretty much all guards along with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Christian Koloko. I mean, they even had to play Armel Traore out there for a few minutes just to try to see if you can get any type of size. And so far, you've seen with Christian Koloko not play a huge role. He's not a guy that's been asked to, play heavy minutes or be, this significant contributor. Just kind of like, hey, man, we need you to go out there and play, 10 to 15 minutes on any given night, which is something that, we all wanted to see. We were all hoping would see. But it also is something that realistically probably shouldn't have had to happen, right? Like, Christian Koloko hadn't played in literally a year and a half. He came in to the league as a development guy. This was a guy that was looked at as like, hey, he's probably gonna take 2-3 years to really kind of be the guy that Toronto hoped that he was going to be. But he was supposed to be the future center for Toronto at some point and kind of be that versatile floor running big, that could on occasion stretch the floor and, just be a shot blocker and rim protector and all that stuff. And the fact that the Lakers were able to acquire him, it's unfortunate that the blood clots were something that really kind of set back Christian Koloko in his career. You never want to see something like that. But you never want somebody to have to be in that position. But he got a second chance and a second lease on life, and it benefited the Lakers, right? It's something where the Lakers ended up getting a young, promising center that they could spend a year or two to kind of grow and develop. But that was the key. Spend a year or two kind of to grow and develop. Yeah, on occasion in spots, maybe play minutes, but it was just kind of more of like, hey, let's kind of see what he got rather than like through necessity. That was the hope, that it wasn't going to be a necessity thing. And so far, he's had to play because of necessity. But Christian Koloko is actually coming off of his best game so far for the Lakers. In 11 minutes, he gave you 6 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, was 3 of 4 from the floor, even took a 3. He missed it by a good margin, but you saw the shooting stroke. You saw that, like, okay, there's something there, in my opinion. Also gave you a block and a steal with no turnovers and only 1 foul. He played 11 minutes. In 11 minutes, gave you 6 and 6 with 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal. Like, that is beautiful. I mean, if he could do that every game, right? Like, you need to play this guy regularly. Now, they were playing the Pelicans, who, I mean, even fully healthy, don't really have a bunch of centers and size. They have a bunch of wings and perimeter guys, but not like center. So, it is something that is worth noting. But also Christian Koloko, it is something that it's like, is he starting to get comfortable? Is he starting to find his stride? Again, he is a development guy. I mean, the fact that he's even on the basketball court right now is impressive in and of itself. But I like Koloko's game. I like his ability. He is incredibly thin. Incredibly. Right? Like, he needs to put on probably 20 plus pounds. Right? Like, he's like real thin. And he's a guy that, he's a floor running big. He is right now really, at best, your third best big. Right? But that's fine. Right? Like that, like, I don't think anyone had the expectations, or you shouldn't have had the expectations. The Lakers definitely didn't have the expectations of him coming in and, being the starting center alongside Anthony Davis. I even talked about when there were even rumors going around that the Lakers might get him. I talked about how, like, hey, chances are he's a guy that you're probably going to have to spend the year developing. It's probably going to take a while. He's probably not a guy that's going to have a bunch of success on the main roster right out the gate. Right? I'm not saying that he wouldn't have had any, but I didn't want the expectations for him. And up until this last game, we've heard the narrative. I've seen the comments. I've seen people talk about, Christian Koloko's not ready. No, he's a bum. He's trash. No, like, we all knew, or you should have at least known, that he wasn't necessarily ready. Right? This is a guy that, again, he was a development guy the year that he played with Toronto. And then he ended up getting blood clots, which usually, on just based on the history of guys that have had similar things, are usually out of the league. Right? Like, and the fact that he's playing now is massive. And he's having to be thrown into the fire and play a significant role. I mean, he's played 5 games, right? To go from not knowing if you're ever even going to be able to step on a basketball court again to now you're playing 5 games in a backup role for the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Lakers have only played, 13 at the time of recording this video? Right? So he's played in nearly half of them, right? And it's like he's giving you just under 10 minutes per game, 9.6 minutes, which isn't a ton of minutes. He is shooting 70% from the floor on 2 attempts. So far from 3, obviously he's only taken 1 3 and he missed it. 2-point range on 1.8 attempts. He's shooting 77.8%. He has an EFG of 70%. He's averaging 2 rebounds. Will be nice and round everything up to half an assist, half a steal, half a block, because it's 0.4 across the board. And then also 0.4 for turnovers. So basically he's averaging half an assist, half a steal, half a block, half a turnover, 1.2 fouls, and 2.8 points. Right? He's averaging 2.8 points. So basically giving you 3 and 2 with half a block and half a steal in, again, call it 10 minutes of action. Right? And I mean, you got to think watch him the first few games, right? First, 2 or 3 games in particular, he was just kind of there. Didn't know where he was supposed to be slotted, right? There was several times where he was just in the way, literally just in the way. Because again, he went from, hey, you're a guy that's not going to have to play ever this season, or only in garbage time and random here and there, to oh no, now we need you to be our primary backup big. Right? That's not ideal. That's not the position that Christian Koloko was supposed to be in. He wasn't supposed to be in a position. But I love that he has the ability to protect the rim. I love that he can be a floor running back. I've talked about it before. Christian Koloko is Jackson Hayes if Jackson Hayes was a shot blocker. Right? Koloko, floor running big, high energy, can rebound, is basically just nothing more than a lob threat. I do think his 3-point shot will come around eventually. But he's more so of just high energy, rebound, block shots, and hit the occasional lob. That's it. Right? And that's fine. But you're starting to see him get a little more comfortable out there. He was in position more often than not. Right? Particularly in the offense. He knew what his job was. He knew what his role was. Right? He was stepping up, setting those screens, doing the dribble handoffs. He was doing a lot of the stuff that you see, Jackson Hayes and Anthony Davis, guys like that doing. Right? That you weren't really seeing him do in the previous games. He's only going to continue to get more comfortable. He's only going to continue to get better. Right? He's a guy that I do think, if the Lakers pull off some type of trade, and they end up pulling something off and they need a roster spot or something like that, say that as long as Hayes is on this roster, there's an argument, probably not going to bring him up, but let's say, just for argument's sake, let's say they end up trading Hayes too, then yes, I would bring in Christian Koloko, right? And let him be your third big, just keep his minutes low, right? I don't think he's a guy right now that you want out there for 25 to 30 minutes. I think he's a guy that you want out there in that 8 to 10 minute a game type role. He's a guy that you're looking to just, hey, come in, be high energy, give us 1 or 2 buckets, ideally a putback, which is an offensive board. Right? If you can give us basically in 10 minutes, like that, what I said, if he can give us 6-6 and, a steal and a block in 10 minutes of action or 11 minutes of action every night, my goodness, right? He needs to play every night. But, again, 4 and a block, I think is more than fair, more than enough. 2 lobs, you're getting a rebound a minute or whatever, or a rebound every 2 minutes or whatever, and you're only in the game 10 minutes, and it's like, here you go, here's 4 and a block, right? Maybe get a steal. But it's great to see Christian Koloko starting to kind of come into his own a little bit. It's great to see Christian Koloko starting to just build that confidence, right? Like, even though he missed that 3, I loved that he took it. Because, one, he was wide open. Take it. Take the shot, dude. You're wide open. Take the shot. But 2, right, it showed his confidence. I'm open. I'm going to take the shot, right? Let me step into this. Let me do this, right? Where, I don't know if he would have taken that shot 2 or 3 games ago. I think he would have waited for somebody to come help him rather than, actually looking to take that shot. I would love to see him kind of continue. I don't want him taking a bunch of 3s and stuff, but, I want to see him continue to get comfortable, to continue to be, just that high energy, high effort, do a little bit of everything type guy out there. In again, a limited minutes, limited role is my thing. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think that, yes, like Christian Koloko, limited minutes, high energy, high effort, right? Continue to learn the system, continue to grow and develop, get confident, right? Like, he's not going to magically put on 50 pounds in the next month or whatever, but he can start kind of getting acclimated, getting familiar with what he's looked to and expected to provide this team going forward, right? Like I said, he was probably 2 years away before the whole blood clot thing, right? He's still 2 years away, at least, minimum, right? But as like your third big spot minutes, I think he's fine. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle. How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.